Hi. So today was January 5th, and it's Monday. Finally got Christmas packed and put away, which is good. Um, and Elizabeth, my daughter, who's going to be 9, and my beautiful Rottweiler Rosie, the three of us went to a very lovely park here on Long Island called Belmont Lake State Park. But it is not by Belmont Racetrack, it is in Babylon. So, anyway, we're walking through the park, and my daughter um, was talking to me how it makes her sad that people are so greedy and that they put greed in front of the right thing to do and how it affects things, the laws, and how wrong it is. And she doesn't understand, and it's sad. And it was a little heartbreaking. Um, Over last year in June, Elizabeth and I were in the position where we had to make some decisions because there were some legal changes in the rules in our school system. So, based on my personal situation and Elizabeth's personal situation, we decided it's in her best interest for health reasons for her to homeschool. Um, but it was in the meantime, though, there's all this political stuff going on surrounding it, and these children are being used as pawns, and it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. But at the same time, what people don't realize is they're getting their civil rights stripped away. I mean, my daughter realizes she's getting her civil rights stripped away, and she's gonna be 9. She sees what's going on, especially now that she's learning about early America and the Revolution and the things that they separated from England from. She sees what's going on now as being way worse than the gripes that the colonists had, and that they came here for religious freedom. So she's experiencing um, this stuff directly, and she's young, but she sees a lot of stuff. For example, like I guess a year and a half ago, I took her to Disney. Elizabeth and I went to Disney together. My husband went on a trip with some of his friends on a Eastern European trip. Anyway, we were in Disney, and we're in one of the copious markets that are there, and we're looking at the prices. I think it was like on dresses or something. And she looks at me, she goes, Mommy, she goes, these prices are vicious. I was like, vicious? I'm like, that's an excellent adjective to describe these prices. She looks at me and she goes, Mommy, she goes, I'm very happy that you took me to Disney, but honestly, remember last year when we were riding horses in the mountains of Colorado? She goes, that was real. That was much better. I was so proud of her. I was like, yes, she gets it. So it was pretty good. But still, it's the fact that at this young age, she has to be so aware of what's going on politically. And in some ways, our civil rights are being stripped. In other ways, even when it comes to sexuality, they're pushing so much on these kids that regardless of what their sexual alignment, I guess you would call it at this point, is, it's being pushed if it's not theirs, or they need to accept it, or just it. And I mean, ultimately they should accept it, but it's very confusing when you're young, sexuality, but it's really confusing with all this other stuff that's going on. And and I don't mind other types of lifestyles. All my bandmates were gay at one point, but it's too much. It's too much. My mom owns a beauty parlor. I mean, but it's just, I don't know, just these kids are being used as pawns, and it's really, really disturbing. Finally, the other thing I'm going to touch on today, even though we had a nice walk in the park, was my husband and I were talking about corporate loyalty, marital loyalty, and not between us, because quite honestly, we're very loyal and dedicated through thick and thin. Um, Even when things are hard, man, we got each other's back. We're not going anywhere. And what people don't realize is, especially as you get older, or if one of you gets really sick, or both of you get really sick, that's happened to us. Um, it's hard. It's not easy, you know. It was like, I want them to be my lover, my best friend, blah blah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They got to be that. But when it's fun, that stuff's easy. But when you're all messed up and you feel disgusting, or like you're mentally struggling, or in my case, I chronically struggle, and actually since the summer, he's chronically has his own thing going on. It's not it's not easy, because sometimes you're just, leaning on each other just to get by. And I think that's when, we talk about happiness and, everything being so hot, but that's so fleeting. It's not what's going to get you through in the long term. Even from a selfish point of view, it doesn't benefit you not to be loyal, if that makes sense. I mean, there's certain aspects, there's certain times where if something is being done that's really wrong by somebody else and you can't back them on it, and you have to go, or infidelity, if you can't accept it or work through it, you have to go. Or of course physical abuse and violence, you have to go. But at the same time, um, I see so many people become disloyal for reasons that aren't real reasons, other than like, oh, she's hot or he's hot, or my husband's not paying attention to me, or my husband, or my wife is too tired with the kids. Really? Well, why don't you do some dishes, dude? Hook her up, Come on. I'm not saying a lot of men don't do that. I know a lot of men help out. My husband helps out. I'm not saying that, but it's loyalty. And I think in this country in general, I think that sense of loyalty, even to the country, just the loyalty of what the United States stands for. This country was founded on religious freedom, and now it's being decimated. Or just freedom. Freedom. It's getting to go back to the beginning of the conversation, especially in the state of New York and California. Freedoms are being stripped. It's been going on since Obama, and it keeps going state by state. Some states are sticking up for themselves. God bless those states. But other states, they're just, I mean, they're bought, they're owned, but it's tragic, really. I think what we knew as America, like, you can't even say what you want to say. Um, you know, you can't. You just can't. Can't. You can't be honest. You can't be real about socioeconomics. You can't be real about corporate power, or the intermarriages between corporations and government agencies. I'm going to call them intermarital relations. There's a better name, but I'm going to keep it at that. It's just interesting and frightening. But I'm off my soapbox today. But other than that, I had a good day. I'm pretty excited to move forward. Christmas is away. I packed Christmas in order, and now my next goal is to get rid of a lot of our stuff, because this year my husband and I just want to refine what we have and gear up for where it is we're heading, which we're pretty psyched about. Well, we have to, for so many reasons that will reveal itself as time goes on. So thanks for watching.